Take it away.
Okay, so are the speakers ready? Can you say something?
Hello.
Okay, Madura, Shri, Diya, Kavya, and Krithika.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
I request the speakers to turn on your videos. Okay, so let's start. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Symposium on Dravidian Languages. So I'm Tarun Balaji, and I'm a native Tamil speaker. I will be presenting Tamil today, and I've lived in Tamil Nadu since birth, and I also speak English, French, Spanish, Hindi, and a little bit of German and Arabic.
Hello, everyone. My name is Krithika Shankar. I'm a student of class 12. I'll be the Telugu language representative for the day. In addition to Telugu, I also speak Tamil and Hindi.
Hi, good evening. I'm Madura and I'll be presenting Kannadese today. And I've lived in Goa for about 3 years now. And I currently live in Dubai. And I also speak Tamil, English, Hindi, Malayalam, and Arabic pretty fluently.
Hello, everyone. I'm Diani Nair. I reside in Dubai for the past 11 years, and I originally hail from Kerala, the southern part of India, and I'll be representing Malayalam today as it's my mother tongue.
Hello. I'm Neal. I've lived in Karnataka for the last 14 years. I'm a first-year undergraduate student in mathematics. And I will be presenting Kannada in this presentation, in this symposium.
Is Kavya here?
I don't think so. I didn't see her in the participant list.
Okay, so can you cover up for Kavya's parts?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I'll just give her a call in a moment. Okay. Yeah. What does Dravidian mean? Dravidian is the term Dravidian refers to an ethno-linguistic group of people originating in South Asia. Unlike other languages of the subcontinent, the Dravidian languages are linguistically and culturally distinct from Indo-Aryan ones. The origin of the Sanskrit word Dravida for Dravidian is the word Tamil. It is believed to have originated from the word Tamil, going from Tamil to Tamir to Damil to Damila to Dramila, and then to Dravida.
Look at the extent of Dravidian languages in the world map shown below. They are distinct from the Indo-European group of languages, as well as the Austronesian group of languages. They are from the southern part of the Indian subcontinent and are widely spoken here.
Dravidian languages are 80 language varieties which originated about 4,500 years ago. They are spoken primarily in South Asia by more than 215 million people in India, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. The main four are Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, and Malayalam that possesses independent scripts and literary histories dating from the pre-Christian era, from the basis of the linguistic states of Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Kerala. Smaller varieties like Canaries also exist.
It's easy to think of Dravidian language tree as an actual family tree. All Dravidian languages seem to have originated from a common ancestor of 7,000 years ago. Compared with other language families, the Dravidian family developed and transited quicker over a span of 1,000 years.
The first evidence we have about a complete Dravidian language dates back to the 5th millennium BCE. Pottery inscriptions and postage stamps were extensively used in trade during ancient times, and they bore typefaces of this proto-language. The earliest book we have, however, is a Tolkappiyam, which is a Tamil grammar book, which was excavated in the 4th millennium BCE. Okay, so where are Dravidian languages spoken? Okay, so Tamil. Tamil is the official language in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu, and it's a recognized minority language in Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Singapore, the Caribbean, and the Canadian state of Quebec. There are over 80 million speakers of Tamil, and a few L2 and L3 speakers as well.
Though Konkani belongs to the Indo-Aryan group, Canaries is a language of the Dravidian family. It developed through the 15th century AD by the blend of a local language and Portuguese. It's heavily influenced by Kannada due to the proximity to the Kannada-speaking regions. There are roughly 250,000 native speakers of Canaries.
Telugu is the largest member of the Dravidian family, with over 93 million speakers of the language. It's primarily spoken in southeastern India, and it is the official language of the states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Telugu is also the fastest growing language community in South Africa and the United States. The first written materials in Telugu date from 575 CE. The Telugu script is derived from that of the 6th century Chalukya dynasty. The first piece of literature was the Telugu Mahabharata by the writer Nannaya Bhatta in the 11th century CE.
Malayalam evolved into a distinct language by 825 AD from a Tamil colloquial dialect, largely by assimilating a great deal of Sanskrit vocabulary and sound structure. It is spoken in the Indian state of Kerala by the Malayali people, that is over 40 million people. Immigration has also led to a Malayali diaspora in Gulf countries such as Bahrain, UAE, and Saudi Arabia, etc.
Kannada is the official language of the state of Karnataka. There are 38 million first language speakers and 5 million second language speakers. It originated as the native language of tribes in Karnataka and took heavy influence from Sanskrit. The oldest full Kannada inscription that has been found was found at a place called Halmidi in Hassan district near the south of Karnataka and dates to about 450 CE. Kannada has three different historical stages that are generally recognized. Old Kannada from 450 to 1200, Middle Kannada from 1200 to 1700, and Modern Kannada from 1700 CE onwards.
Okay, so let's look at the phonology of each of the Dravidian languages. Tamil. Tamil has a relatively simple phonological structure. It has a series of short vowels and long vowels. There are also two diphthongs, the I and the OU. The consonant inventory in Tamil is divided into three groups. The affricates, the nasals, and the approximants, called the Vallinam, Mellinam, and Idainam in Tamil. The Valinam consonants are Kasada Tapara. The Melinum consonants are Nyangana Namana. And the Idainum approximants are Yarara Nabala. There are 6 types of elision, which is the reduction of the sound duration present in Tamil. The most common one is the Kutriya Lugaram, which is the phonemic U elision. So the U at the end of the word theoretically gets converted to a so the word aru becomes aru in speech. And the nasalization of the ultimate colloquial speech is also very common. The clusters and an become nasalized. Like the Tamil word for tree, maram, becomes maro in colloquial speech. Onglides, which basically mean the consonant W and Y are found at the beginning of words starting with vowels, like one for the word one.
Like the other Dravidian languages, Telugu has a series of retroflex consonants pronounced with the tip of the tongue curled back against the roof of the mouth, like the, na, and the. It also has aspirated consonants like Kannada. Geminate or long consonants are also a common feature of Telugu, mostly in world medial positions, and are distinctive. Example, let's compare. Gadi is room and Gaddi is throne.
Kannarese has lots of sounds not found in English. Aspirated consonants are found extensively, like car, meaning car meaning spiciness. The phonemes are often nasalized, very similar to Portuguese. Long vowels and short vowels are present. Only 2 diphthongs are there, however, a and a.
Malayalam also has sounds not found in English. Along with a heavy tone system, Malayalam has heavy rules on pronunciation and phonology. Words in Malayalam never begin with a geminated consonant, like n, p, etc. Malayalam also has a very detailed tone and prosody system, which I will not go into detail for the sake of simplicity.
Kannada also has vowels and consonants not found in English. It really distinguishes between the palatal and retroflex tas and thus, which is uncommon in English, and the L, which unlike other Dravidian languages, is not pronounced as ra, unlike what is more common in Malayalam and Tamil.
This letter is pronounced l rather than r.
Okay, so now let's compare the different writing systems of the Dravidian languages. So first we have the Tamil writing system. So basically the Tamil writing system developed from the Tamil Brahmi script, which was basically written in the stone inscriptions. So when you write in stone, you have lots of constraints. So you can only make straight angular lines and you can't curve your lines. So this was very useful. As you can see in the first image on the left, there are not many curves and there are many straight lines, angular lines which are found. This was very useful and faster when it came to writing. However, in the literary script, literary shift to the palm manuscripts, if you make like straight lines on a palm manuscript, the palm manuscript will tear. So they had to incorporate the curves. So this was the first greatest writing system shift in Tamil, in which the Tamil Brahmi script became the Vattelithu, and the Vattelithu further broke down into the Arya Elithu, which is found in Malayalam, and the modern Tamil script. This image on the right, the far right, is an excerpt from the Tirukural in modern Tamil.
The Telugu script is an abugida. Consonants carry an inherent vowel, which can be modified by attaching vowel signs to the consonant. The script is visually different from Devanagari because the letters sit on a line instead of hanging from the line.
Kannarese has been more of a spoken language up until the Portuguese conquest of Goa. Before that, Kannarese had borrowed the Kannada and Devanagari script for literature. After the conquest, however, Kannarese started to be written in Roman Latin script. The style of spelling and special characters were extremely influenced by the Portuguese language. Despite being a Dravidian language, Kannarese has borrowed many elements of Roman language. One such example in orthography would be the suffix-affix system borrowed from Portuguese. For example, the CAO in used the earlier word much like English TION. Therefore, perichium, meaning introduction, is early Kannarese, became perichio. In New Kannarium, special characters with tildes were also observed into the language.
Malayalam was first written in the Vatilutu alphabet, an ancient script of Tamil. However, in the modern Malayalam script evolved from the Grantha alphabet, which was originally used to write Sanskrit. Modern-day Malayalam, shown in the picture, is written in Arya Ilutu. It was a reformed script which was popularized in the 16th century AD by Malayali poets. It was a relatively simple script with no archaic letters.
Kannada, it's modern Kannada. Its script has derived from Halle Kannada, or otherwise known as Old Kannada, which took influences from Brahmi, as well as an early form to write Sanskrit. Modern Kannada looks very different from Halle Kannada and has 13 vowels, 34 consonants, and 2 diacritics as its phonemes. So each complete letter corresponds to one syllable, and these may refer to any vowel, as is written over here. The first vowel, or schwa, or the fifth vowel, u, can each represent one syllable. Ka or pa also represent a syllable, and being an Abugida, ki is written with a symbol. So is pu, and kri, which is represented by that extra symbol to show the R. Consonant blends. Even gemination is treated just as a consonant blend, as in appa, the word for father, and uppu, the word for salt.
Okay, so let's look at the dialects and creoles of the Dravidian languages. So first we have Tamil dialects, accents, and creoles. So the ones highlighted in yellow are basically the accents, pure Tamil accents. So we have the central Tamil accent, which is taken as the standard Tamil variety. Then we have in the south, Madurai and LingLeague. And in the Coimbatore region, close to Udagamandalam, we have the Kongu Tamil. We also have a series of pidgins related to the Tamil language. So what I mean by a pidgin is that a language came into contact with another language and both of them shared common features. However, it hasn't advanced far enough to become another language by itself. So a few examples of pidgins would be Bangalorean Tamil, Madras Bhashe, Yalpanam Tamil, and Neerkolmu Tamil. When these pidgins advance farther and farther, we have something called creoles. So these creoles are somewhat mutually unintelligible from the other varieties. Such good examples would be Lingua Malabar, Sanketi, and Mattakalapun.
Telugu dialects are technically classified into 4 major dialects. Eastern Telugu dialect, which is the Uttarandhra or Kalinga. Northern Telugu dialect, which is the Telangana dialect. Central Telugu dialect, which is the Godavari. And the Southern Telugu dialect, which is the Rayalaseema dialect, which also includes dialects of South Coastal districts. But this division is not a hard set one. There are a lot of overlaps among the dialects. And moreover, there are many variations within each of the dialects. You can see the following map of 4 major Telugu dialects and their spread in Telugu states.
Kannada doesn't have as many speakers as Kannada or Malayalam, so there are very few dialects of the language. Even then, the words significantly change across the dialects. South Kannada, also known as Kannada Bhasha, is heavily influenced by Udupi Kannada and Malayalam. Kannadiam and Saxty are influenced by Portuguese, while Saxty bears are more Indo-Aryan structure.
The existence of southern, central, and northern dialects of Malayalam is fairly obvious even to common people. This broad holds good in dialect studies also, but under each broad group, there are a number of sub-varieties, as shown by the Dialect Survey of Malayalam. A significant creolized form of Malayalam is spoken in Lakshadweep, an archipelago found in the Arabian Sea, off the coast of mainland Kerala.
Kannada dialects are broken largely into um, uh, three different groups: the northern, the southern, and the coastal. The northern Kannada dialects include Dharwad, Gulbarga, and Vijaypura dialects. The coastal dialects include Mangalore, Sirsi, Ankola, and Malnad dialects. The southern dialects, which can be broken down further into southern and southwestern dialects, are the Bangalore and Mandya dialects from the Bangalore, Mandya, and Chamarajanagar dialects in the southern part of Karnataka, and in the southwestern part of Karnataka, there's the Tippur and the Nanjangoodu dialects.
Okay, so now let's look at the similarities and convergences among the Dravidian languages. An abugida, okay, so what is an abugida? An abugida is a writing system where each character represents neither a syllable nor an alphabet. It's somewhere in between. It has sequences of consonants and vowels attached to those consonants, and each of them are written as a single unit. All of them are based on the consonant letter. Vowels must be written down as well, but they're secondary.
All Dravidian languages follow an abugida system. Syllables are built up of consonants, each of which has a vowel, which means a vowel is to be pronounced in a syllable, even if it.
Since Kannada is comparatively new, it's written in the Latin alphabet called Romi, but sometimes it's also written in the Kannada or Malayalam script.
Diacritic symbols are used to change or mute the inherent vowel, and separate vowel letters may be used when vowels occur at the beginning of a syllable or on their own.
Diglossia is when a group of people use two separate languages or dialects depending on context. One is the common language that most people use in informal everyday speech, and the other is an often much older language or dialect used in formal settings, for example, literature and sometimes education.
For example, Kannada has the old literary Kannada or Hale Kannada and spoken Kannada or Hosa Kannada.
Tamil is also heavily diglossic, with the literary equivalent being completely unintelligible with the spoken variant.
Telugu uses two registers, Granthika and Vyavaharika Telugu. Granthika Telugu was used extensively in academic settings and contained lot of loan words from Sanskrit. Vyavaharika Telugu, on the other hand, is used in more common everyday settings. Vyavaharika Telugu is now used in academic settings too, considering the effort required to learn from Granthika Telugu.
Kannada is extremely diglossic. The literary equivalent contains common cognates with Portuguese, whereas the spoken one takes more of a Kannada and Malayalam influence.
Malayalam has three important regional dialects and a number of smaller ones. There is some difference in dialect along social, particularly caste, and lines. As a result of these factors, the Malayalam language has developed diglossia, a distinction between the formal, literary language and colloquial forms of speech. The literary one is also more Sanskritized.
So now let's look at some common phrases in each of the Dravidian languages. So for hi, my name is, in Tamil, we would say Vanakkam, en pear.
So we say Swagatam na peru for what is my name in Telugu.
In Kannada, it would be Swagata. Nanna hesaru Neal.
In Malayalam, it's Swagatam and Repair.
In Kannarese, it would be Swagat Yenna Pudar.
So for how are you, in Tamil, we would say Eppadi irukkirirgal.
In Telugu, we say Miru ela unnaru.
In Kannada, we would say Neevu hegidiri.
In Malayalam, we say Sugamanam.
In Kannarese, we say Encha Ular.
So these are some common words which are same in all five Dravidian languages which are exhibited today. So for the first word, we have salt, which in Tamil would be uppu.
In Kannada, it would be Uppu.
In Malayalam, it will be Uppa.
And the word for thread would be nool in Tamil.
In Kannarese, it would be Nul.
The word for tank in Tamil would be
It is the same, Totti, in Kannada as well.
a town or a city. We'd say Ur in Tamil.
Uru, in Kannada.
So that brings us to the end of our presentation. We will now sign off in our respective languages. Vandadharku Nandri.
Tervindo Obrigado.
Thank you for attending TALC 2021. The floor is now open to questions.
May I ask one question, Tarun, if you don't mind?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so I read this information. I read that Tamil is the most conservative among all the Dravidian languages. Like it had the least influence from the Indo-Aryan languages. Tamil, is that true?
Yes, that is very much true because Tamil developed as its own language instead of borrowing Indo-Aryan influence and Sanskrit influence. So I say yes, Tamil is its own language without much of Indo-Aryan influence.
Okay, thank you.
If you have any questions, you can direct them in the chat.
Thank you so much. It was a wonderful conference. It is a wonderful, piece of information which all of you have shared. So I want to know, how old is the Tamil language, and what are the records do we have in history? Is it the oldest language, or we have any other language which is as old as Tamil?
Thank you for your question. And to answer the first part of your question, Tamil would be considered the oldest Dravidian language, as it's transcended directly from Proto-Dravidian. Yeah, there are many languages which are older than Tamil, but most of them are extinct. The few remaining ones would be Hebrew and Arabic, which are almost as old as Tamil.
Thank you so much.
Tarun, there is another question in the chat. It says, what is the relationship between Tamil and Sanskrit?
Okay. So Tamil is a Dravidian language, and Sanskrit would be considered an Indo-Iranian language. So I'd say that the relationship is not much speaking from a linguistic point of view, but from a religious point of view, most Tamil religious texts are in Sanskrit and the rest are in Tamil. So I'd say that it does play an important role when it comes to religious texts. But from a linguistic standpoint of view, not much. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, we also have another question. Okay, so thank you for coming. We can wrap it up. Thank you.
The link that has been sent in the chat is, I presume, the link to our Discord server.
You can join our Discord server to be a part of an amazing network of teen linguists across the world. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.